All right, let's go ahead and start the show.
What? It doesn't say bikini pancakes?
No.
It should. It should.
Hello, everybody.
Yay!
We're here. Thanks a lot for coming, every peoples. So, welcome to StarCast, a Star Citizen podcast, where we're going to talk about crazy, wild speculations and have no idea if the stuff we're saying is factual or not.
Except for this week.
Yeah. Zip zero nada.
Well, it's Thanksgiving. Everyone give thanks. Yay!
No, that was last week.
Hey.
And then Black Friday.
Still counts.
Whoa, Black Friday.
Counts.
Oh, yeah.
And then Cyber Monday. Whoa, and now we're out. Now we're out of topics.
Yeah, we have nothing.
You guys?
Did you guys buy anything on Cyber Monday?
I did buy some shit.
I got
A whole bunch of fucking Christmas presents, but that's
this
about
for
it.
my data mining.
Ooh. 290.
Yeah, and it
Nice.
it runs at 95C.
That's
So you
pretty
could almost
warm.
make tea with that.
I can cook something on the back of the.
Is it
Back
supposed to
of
be
the-
that warm?
Yeah,
That's-
apparently yes.
Seems a little
It's sort of
extreme.
like the opposite of a superconductor that works at room temperature.
Yeah, no.
This one almost works at boiling.
Yeah, it does boil. But with that and my 7950, I'm hitting 1.4 million hashes per second on this computer alone.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Oh, so not only can you fry an egg, but it does hash as well.
it does nice hash, a corned beef hash.
Well played.
Yeah, I know I shouldn't buy the reference design. It does sound like a turbo hairdryer when I run it at at full throttle.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I'm making
That's
money.
half the fun.
There's I got a monitor.
Oh, you got a new monitor? What'd you get?
It's an Asus like 23.9 inch
Oh,
something or other. It has 100 million to 1 contrast ratio. It's pretty cool.
I got
like
an
it.
That's both of my monitors are the Asus 23s.
I'm thinking of buying 4K Ultra.
Oh, that's nice. The 290 will run 4K.
Let's go for it.
I'm gonna wait a couple years.
Yeah.
Because I picked up this monitor for like $114, which was a ridiculously good price.
That is an awesome price.
So I'm assuming that if I wait a couple years, the 4K monitors will probably drop to about the same level.
Well, what monitor did you buy? Like, it was a 27-inch double HD?
No, he said he
was
got
that?
23 inch.
No,
Oh, 23.
it's a 24,
20.
23.9. It's a 24 inch. It's an LED. It's nice. It's non-glossy. It's good. I like it.
Pancakes, they want to know what the medals are behind you there.
That's my superstar confirmation medals.
Superstar confirmation.
Yeah,
What?
they're actually not mine. So,
Are those your brother's Eagle Scout medals and stuff?
crew.
Oh, crew. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got a very overachieving family.
You mean like the shampoo?
No, like rowing.
Like rowing crew. Yeah,
Oh.
I did that in high school.
All right, well, I guess we can get started
Party,
on
party.
the show.
Well, we wasted enough time
Yeah.
on bullshit. Let's move on.
Moving
If you
on.
guys haven't noticed, we're trying to stall desperately.
The amount of information we have this week is next to nothing.
Trendane, do a voice.
We're only doing a 15-minute show this week, so make sure you watch very, very slowly and stretch it out.
Yes. Watch it in
Yeah.
half speed. Okay. So, updates from last week. What happened?
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving,
Yep.
Mhm.
Thanksgiving.
Black Friday.
Black Friday, Cyber
Cyber
Monday.
Monday.
Giving Tuesday.
Monitor, video card, nothing else. No, as far as Cloud Imperium, anything exciting?
Oh.
Chris Roberts had the giving thanks message, which was nice. I read the whole deal.
I think he finally got caught up on all of his, stretch goal letters that he had to write.
I think
slow down.
If you look at the thing, it's like flatline this whole week.
Yeah, it's still flatlining at like $70,000 a day. So let's not say
basically
flatline.
it's all about people's faith in whether or not they should still buy ships that have no LTI. It comes down to trust and faith and bullshit.
I also think it just was Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and everyone's a bit tapped right now.
I think everyone's going to be tapped until fucking New Year's.
Yeah.
When all those bonuses come in.
Yeah.
Then they'll be so hungover they can't buy anything anyway. So.
All right. What else? They came out with the Gauss system. Talking about that. Galactic Guide Gauss. Are you gonna read that?
Oh yes.
It's so small. Are you gonna read? I mean, it's only like 5 or 6 paragraphs.
Yeah, I'm still
Not
gonna
that
read it.
well, yeah, it's nice though.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Be good.
There's
Trent,
a
are
bunch
you
of people-
caught up on everything yet?
Getting real close. I think I've got now that I've got the Gauss system to narrate, I think I've got 3 things maybe to narrate.
Nice.
Guys,
Finishing
I figured
Hurston
out-
Dynamics and Positive Rate almost done.
Okay. That's not much.
Oh, I mean, I already did those. That's why I'm having trouble finding things now.
Oh yeah, I
figured
forgot
out-
to talk about the question thing. Thanks, Core. So if you have a question, please put it in brackets.
Oh yeah, do that, guys. We
Sorry.
need questions. We desperately need questions this episode.
Ask
Please.
anything you wanna ask.
Yeah, perfect. You were going to say something?
Yeah. So last week, it was from several sources. We have been told that our explanation on PBR, physically based rendering, was completely wrong, and the reason it was wrong is because I was just straight up reading off my notes, and either CIG was wrong, which I'm not sure how likely that is, or I just wrote it down wrong and remembered it wrong. But regardless, I will now correct this decision and also punish you all for second guessing us as a group by reading from this textbook about physically based rendering. And I'm going to read from the preface.
Remember, it's got to be a very monogamous voice.
No, monotone.
Monotone, there you go.
Monogamous? Like it's not having sex with anybody
I'm
else.
allowed to have sex with that book.
I'm only going to read a couple paragraphs.
Okay.
So the suffering will not be very long. Rendering is a fundamental component of computer graphics. At the highest level of abstraction, rendering is the process of converting a description of three-dimensional scenes into an image. Algorithms for animation, geometric modeling, texturing, and other areas of computer graphics all must pass their results through some sort of rendering process so that they may be made visible in an image. Rendering has become ubiquitous, from movies to games and beyond. It has opened up new frontiers for creative expression, entertainment, and visualization. And I'm going to skip some paragraph. Okay. PBRT, or physically based rendering, can compute images that are physically correct. They accurately reflect the lighting as it would be in a real-world version of the scene. One advantage of the decision to use a physical basis that gives a concrete standard of program correctness. For simple scenes, where the expected result can be computed in closed form, if PBRT doesn't compute the same result, we know there must be a bug in implementation. Similarly, if different physically based lighting algorithms in PBRT give different results for the same scene, or if PBRT doesn't give the same results as another physically based renderer, there is certainly an error in one of them. Finally, we believe that this physically based approach to rendering is valuable because it is rigorous. When it is not clear how a particular computation should be performed, physics gives us an answer that guarantees a consistent result.
Yay, physics.
Skater, what that thing you talking about there?
That's it. That is the end.
Now, I appreciate you reading it like that, but you realize I did a video because somebody said all my videos were wrong. They always have an error in them. So you just don't, you can't watch them at all because the one sentence I had where I said the thing was wrong at the one little spot negates the entire video, of course. So I came up with a video where I did nothing but read the spec sheets off, and it's 25 minutes long, and I got hammered because people are like, all you did was read the spec sheet. You're cheating.
And all people do now is bitch about how the fact that the specs are off because they haven't updated them.
You can't
So
win
that's not
with
your
this
fault.
crowd. Perfect. I appreciate. I applaud you for reading the thing. I still have no idea what the hell it is, but hey,
I was gonna say, what the hell you saying?
put it in there, Skeeter. Comment about
What you
it.
talking about, Willis?
Well, all it's saying, it's actually, all right, to explain, I guess we have to explain something, but it's basically that the images that, because it's material based, right, it's based on a physical material, it's computing images that are based on the physics of the image, so the physics of the lighting. So that means that it accurately reflects the lighting of on any object in any given space based on the material rather than wherever you are or whatever the scene is.
Excellent.
See, this is what it's like to try to narrate this stuff sometimes because you're like, it accurately reflects the. Back up and start again. You take a 30-minute file and narrow it and you edit it down to a 5-minute finished piece with less cussing.
Confirmed. All right. So that's PBR in a nutshell, or a walnut shell, or some kind of shell. Link
Yeah,
shell.
you really ought to drink it with peanuts because you need the saltiness of the peanuts to make it taste not like ass.
Because that's what PBR is all about.
Oh God, it's all about ass. It's just horrible. God.
All right, so I guess that's pretty much it for updates from last week. We really don't have much else to talk about. We have something really exciting.
There are two more things.
Okay.
One is the fact that the Banu merchantman was seen from behind instead of from the front.
Oh,
Which-
my goodness.
I need Linky to that.
It's my fault.
which meant that the aggressive-looking front of the ship turns out to be its fucking ass. Did you need a link to the?
Yeah, so I thought that was the front too. I thought the rounded part would be the front. Everyone's like, no, that's the back. So
Yeah.
that was really the front, the round part.
It looks really weird.
Yeah, the round part is the front, so it basically looks like a giant space whale.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
It's not weird.
I was wondering. I mean, if you it looked a little bit more like the Romulan ship from that Star Trek, where everything was sort of like pointy front end,
Less like Sputnik.
Yeah.
Hang on. Okay,
Can you look-
wait a second, hang on. That might be wrong. The chat has
pointy
sent
end
me
was the
a
front.
link.
Okay. Let's go look at
The
it.
elongated end on the right of the picture is intended as the front of the ship.
That way it's aerodynamic in space.
That doesn't make sense.
What
not
if
really.
you're flying through a nebula?
Oh. So where did this rendering come from?
Maya?
No, this one here. The image has been resized with the this one. Let's see. I'll pull it over. That one there. Which you can't see. Never mind.
I'm hidden by a thing.
Yeah. Oh, this is from DeviantArt.
No, you can't show that.
No,
Super deviant.
it's very deviant. Well, whatever. So we're totally wrong on that too. It's okay. We're good at this.
At least we're consistent.
Well, that
That's
actually
it.
ties into next week. So I've got some great news. I know this week's a little slow, but next week this is going to be epic. Okay.
Gonna be super party.
Next week we need questions from you guys in the audience. And why do we need questions from you guys in the audience?
We need questions from them now. What are you talking about?
No, but we need them for next week.
Extra special questions.
Extra special
Oh.
questions for next week because we have Mr. Ben Lesnick is going to be on our show next
Oh my
week.
God, you're kidding.
No.
Maybe.
Oh wow! I was not here for the part for the
Oh, you
pre-show.
missed that. You
guys
missed that.
talked about that.
Yes.
I was, wow. Okay.
Oh, really? Is this what's going on?
Yep. So the pointy end, round end question we can ask to Mr. Ben directly, and he can confirm or deny.
Can we give you
Or
some
redact.
better context than that?
Or redact.
Because that could be.
He can redact it.
Yeah.
So what I'm looking from everybody in the audience tonight, and then of course you're watching this on YouTube later on any of our channels, please send us questions. You can send it to geek@geekdomo.com. We're looking for really good, concise questions. I mean, it doesn't have to be like one sentence, but just make them relevant, pointed questions. We're going to send them to Ben ahead of time, and when he comes on the show, he'll be all set. And
Figured out which ones he can answer and which ones he can't.
exactly. So we'll send him like 5 to 10 of them, depending on how many you guys send. And your question could be on the show next week. So isn't that cool? And then the next, once Ben has approved that we are not going to, crash anything, he's going to then get maybe Mr. Chris Roberts on the show. So somebody says the screen is flickering.
It is.
It is.
It is slightly flickering.
I just got new drivers for that new video card, and I think they're not copacetic.
Yeah.
It may not just be you, because I was watching Tobren's stream earlier and it was doing it too.
Oh, okay. Because I'm not seeing any flickering. So normally I would see flickering on my Twitch on XSplit,
Excellent.
but it's not. It's super smooth. So if it's flickering on the Twitch end, it might be Twitch.
It's Twitch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
just Twitch. Yeah, it looks like it.
I apologize, everybody. It's a little bit out of our
Why
control,
are you
I guess.
apologizing for Twitch's screw up?
Because
Stop
ultimately it's my responsibility.
Stop it.
Do I like bacon? Yes. I like bacon.
Thank you, Pancakes. Duh.
Like, yeah, bacon. Yeah, Twitch is twitching, everybody. But I'm recording it locally, so when I put it up on YouTube, we won't have flicker problems.
It'll be beautiful.
Awesome. So you can watch it in 1080p over there. Sorry about the flicker. Okay, anyway, so, yeah, we have Ben Lesnick coming on next week. Very excited. And we will ask him some questions and have him just chat with us just like we're here with us guys. And I hope he's up for a 2-hour chat fest, like usual.
We'll see what his stance on Vandal romancing is.
Yes, we will definitely...
Probably positive.
We will definitely ask him about the Vandal romance and
Better
the shape of the Vandal vagina. I think is a very good question.
I think romance is a bit of a strong word.
Bit of a stretch.
Maybe rape.
Yeah. Maybe romance is not quite right there.
Well, it's gonna happen either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, we have nothing to talk.
Right. So LTI came to an end, and people are crying, and people are happy, and yeah, that's going
They're
on right
crying
now.
and they're happy? Is it
Yeah.
a wedding or a funeral or something?
Tears of joy.
It's like there's people crying because they can't get LTI anymore, and there's people that are happy that are saying, well, now I don't have to buy shit anymore because there's no LTI anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all really weird and backwards.
What do you guys think? We're having some questions coming up. We'll go to Q&A right now. But what do you guys think of the dogfight, or not the dogfight? Yeah, the dogfighting module being pushed back, and they're giving us the gun ship area.
I could give a fuck about the gunship area, to be completely honest. But I don't mind them pushing back the dogfighting module. I'd rather have something that sort of kind of works than something that doesn't even remotely kind of works.
And then it fails, and everyone goes, oh my god, Star Citizen's going to suck, because they'll equate that this dogfighting module is Star Citizen when it really isn't.
Yeah, I don't care.
Hell, but the first time that people discovered that you could run Battle for Ilum in the hangar, where you could fly the little Hornet, people thought that were the mechanics and went ape shit over it. And it was just like, No, you're wrong. There's no mechanics for it
There's no
whatsoever.
physics.
You're playing with a hacked version of a thing that's not even included in the game.
So basically, what's going to happen is if dogfighting module, like it's cursed, it's going to be cursed either way because if they push it back and try to make it better, they're going to get cursed. You know, they're going to get all the heat from they're not bringing it out right now, god damn it. And you know, if they don't bring out a perfect fucking product, everyone's going to say that Star Citizen is going to be the massive fucking flop that it will be. So you know.
A Warwolf is saying that he's not sure he wants just to take out a ship for a flight. I'm kind of the same way. I would just be happy as hell just to get in my ship and just fly somewhere. I don't necessarily need to do the dogfighting module yet. So I would be happy with just seeing the hangar doors actually open and be able to fly out.
I would still recommend people who do have alpha access to just try it out when it does come out. And hell, if it doesn't run and you don't want it to run, you know, that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I'd say try it anyway and see what it's like. At least, you know, for optimization's sake, because that's going to suck, and they need all the feedback on that they can get.
Yep. Ooh, that's
if you get super pissed off, and, you know, you're running at 10 frames per second or something, you know, it's okay. There'll be plenty of people, I guess, who are, you know, like us, who are going to play the hell out of the thing regardless, so that we can give lots of feedback.
Yeah, Chaos Cola just said if you're not prepared to accept that in alpha and beta, it'll have bugs. You shouldn't even touch it until it's released.
Well, the funny thing is, whether or not people cry or moan, it doesn't really matter, because when it comes out and it's not good, people are going to cry. And that's good, because that's feedback. Regardless of how you interpret them actually being immature, it is feedback in the sense that their computers obviously can't run it, or something's wrong, or it's bugged, or they can't even get their ship out of the hangar.
That's right. I mean, they need that kind of feedback so they can figure out what's wrong with the engine and all that. I mean, I'm not saying that kind of stuff, but people that are fully capable of playing the game, it plays totally fine, but they just don't like the way it plays, that's a problem.
It is also like
could be a problem. Yeah,
going to be like 99% probability that it will be bugged on release, just because of like the scale of the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I remember fucking 10 years ago, you wouldn't touch an alpha with a 10-foot pole because you tried running that thing. You tried running it, and it would just be like, oh my god, I'm playing Tetris all over again, and I don't even understand what the point of this game is. Like, that was how bad alphas were back then. I mean, it has ramped up to becoming more of a graphical show in alphas these days, but, you know, when it comes down to core gameplay, you can't expect there to be too much of that during alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, none of this. It's besides, like, the PvP systems and the dogfighting systems, nothing is going to be there. So none of the persistent universe stuff is there, and I think that's really the what's going to take them the most time to actually figure out, because making a good dogfighting simulation or whatever, or some kind of combat flight sim, that might not take that long. It might take the better part of a year. I mean, I've seen people put out like those kinds of games in like a year and a half, no problem.
People should really lower their expectations on what they can expect from dogfighting. I mean, if they can get their ship if they can get the game to run, first of all, that's a pro. If they can actually get their ship to move according to keys on your keyboard or on your fucking mouse or whatever, that's another pro. And if you could actually click your mouse button and hit something, that's the third pro. But you're going to have to take them in steps, and you're going to need to lower your expectations, because one of those three things is going to fucking fail for you.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
With all the people who are bordering on absolute, you know, geek level hyperventilation over this thing, I think all they need to do is they need to change the hangar modules so that you can open the doors, and there's like the Windows 95 Starfield screensaver going on outside, and it's just little dots going by the windows.
You can sit in your cockpit and go pew pew.
Okay, I'm all right now. That's all I got to do.
Ludicrous speed.
It's not fast enough.
Well, then get back there and work on the engines. Send one of your NPCs to do it.
But yeah, basically my real words of wisdom are, if something doesn't work the way it's supposed to, don't worry. They've still got a year and a half to, you know, dink out the fucking kinks.
Absolutely.
We do
All
some
right.
Q&A?
Yeah, let's do some Q&A, but before that, we have a new thing on the show here, user-submitted video.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
Must
we're
be
gonna-
another thing I missed from the pre-show
Yeah,
setup.
sorry. So
You were asleep. You
I was
cannot-
asleep, yes.
You
I-
cannot fucking, whatever.
I will cop to that, absolutely. I was
It's no
asleep until about 15 minutes.
But so every week, if you guys want to send those of you who make videos, it doesn't have to be amazing. You know, I mean, a lot of people say, "Well, we're friends with anything FPS, and his stuff is just amazing. I can't compete with that." I don't care. I mean, as long as the video is decent quality, and we'll put it up. So send them in to geek@geekdomo.com and send what you'd like to put on the show, and we'll do that. So
Honestly, we don't care if it's an offhanded drawing with a broken crayon. Just, you know,
Which I do a lot of those with my
We put
Chromio
this on
gamers.
the internet, so
yeah,
really, yeah.
internets. All right, so
You
let's
can
go
get-
ahead.
If you get Newgrounds level stickmen fucking gifs, we'll take those too.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and watch this. Is it this one? There it is. Target locked by Koopa Kuzman. All right, I'm going to mute the microphone. There we go. So what do you guys think?
It's nice.
Yeah, it looks like he took a lot of different video clips and put them all together in sort of like a
montage.
Like a montage, yeah. By all means, anybody wants to submit videos, we can do this every week. Pick the best one. That was the first one. We just thought we'd try it out. Somebody said, "Hey, we want to put the video on the show." I said, "Yeah, sure. We'll give it a shot." So yeah, we somebody in the audience here was saying, "Oh, was it Siberian?" Was saying that we need more videos from Sig. That would be nice. All right, so let's get on with the show, and it's now time for Q&A time. Q&A time. All right, Mr. Trendane. Oh, before we start the Q&A time, everyone was asking, what is the status of the computer?
I figured that was one of the questions. For
It is indeed.
Yes, it is one of the questions.
It is. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. So we'll get to it.
We'll get to it then. Just make you wait a little bit longer.
Just to draw it out.
All right, Trendane, would you like to read the questions? Question bitte?
I'm not a question biter.
Question biter.
I'm yawning too much.
Biters.
So am I. But then I just woke up, half an hour, 45 minutes.
Gotta get the hype up.
Yeah, question.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Come on. All right.
Yeah.
We're so pathetic tonight.
Don't judge me. I just want to drink a can of cream style corn.
Oh, yeah, cream corn.
Just open the can. And just,
A little salt and pepper, open it, just chug a look.
it's like a vandal. Never mind.
Okay.
Bye, perfect.
I just ate. Because watch me.
Oh, okay. So you're fine eating while Core is talking about having his face ripped off.
Right. That's different. I don't know. This is like, that's like bodily violence. I can handle that. I work in a hospital. This is like cream corn over Vandal.
No, let's not go there. Let's not go there, please.
Ordinarily, I would use this laughter time to pre-read the thing, but I can't see now.
His eyes are all leaking.
Yeah, they're all blinking like Twitch.
Is it still flickering?
What do you think of the Banu flip-flop /Ash? What do you think of the PvP slider debates? Kind of two separate questions, but...
Alright, well, first of all, the Banu flip-flop turns my awesome, aggressive-looking merchantman Carrack into a fucking space whale. A harmless, docile space whale. Which leaves me kind of sad. As for the other
in the right direction this way. I'm not Sputnik.
As for the other question, PvP sliders. We've touched on them briefly before. For those that don't know, there will be an option in the main settings when you start your game or when you go into Persistent Universe to turn off the ability to meet other players, which means PvP will be turned off and you'll only see other players that also have this slider turned off, and you will not be able to fire on each other, shit like that. So you'll basically be playing a version of an MMO that doesn't have PvP. There is another slider that turns it all the way down, in which you will have no interaction whatsoever with any players of any kind, but you'll still be playing online on the server shard.
I like that.
So regardless of what you do, you're always going to interact with the market, with the world, even though you're not in PvP or not able to be, to get PvP. Now, there's one inherent problem with this, right? Let's say, you log in, and this time you start in a freighter, and you start logging fucking, you start logging shit across a secure trade line where, you can't get PvP because there are no PvP pirates that can PvP because you turned the slider off. How is that going to impact Persistent Universe play when everyone could just go, all right, well, I'm in a high-value target, I'm just going to turn all fucking PvP off, and I'm just going to fly along the space route now. So how that's going to actually affect Persistent Universe is yet to be seen.
I mean, you can already do that in WoW. I mean, you could turn your PvP off. You can deflag.
Yeah, but I mean, WoW's like a theme park MMO where Star
of
Citizen
course,
relies on.
there was no open world in WoW, which is the difference between here, because Persistent Universe is open world.
Right.
Back in the early days, there used to be South Shore and Brill, or whatever it was. It was open world.
Right.
You could PvP
Oh,
there.
Terran Mill.
Terran Mill, yeah, Terran Mill.
Hills Bradfoot Hills.
Hills Foothills and Terran Mill back in the day.
Yeah, and then they got taken out because they were too aggressive.
So, you think that? I mean, I could see that this being abused, yes, but maybe not. I don't know.
But they did say there. Okay, so there was there's a big long post that somebody made that compiled all the information on piracy and stuff as well. And part of the information that we have is that the PvP slider is not 100% effective. It in lawful space, yeah, it's pretty effective. You probably won't be accosted by other players. And if you are in a secure shipping lane, then you probably, you won't be accosted at all, because the place is under UEE military protection, sure. But as the farther you get outside of lawful space, and the less taxes and fees that you have to pay on whatever goods or trading that you're doing. So your profit margin's increasing, but the danger is also increasing. And as you get to completely, unlawful space, completely unregulated space, then the PvP slider doesn't actually mean anything because, you can turn it all the way up, but, you're going to run into other players who are looking for a fight. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, the only issue is, of course, how on the fly that slider's going to be. Like, you're flying and you scan the sector and you're like, oh, there's other players. Click, switch to, the non-slider, and then you fly to your destination to the other side because now the PvP players can't see you.
That's going to be something they're going to have to balance because that's an issue.
I think the way it should be like staged, as in, once you set it to PvP, you cannot go back.
Ever?
I think that's the way it should be, yeah. I think that once you make the conscious decision to say, I want to fight with other players, you can never go back to not fighting with other players.
I think that could work, yeah.
Because then, you start the game up and you get the choice. Like, do you want to start in offline mode, or do you want to join the shard but not have any interaction with players? Or do you want to have interaction with players but don't fight other players? And then you've got the fourth option where it's just full-on PvP, no holds barred. And I think that now, once you set it all the way to the right, where you're just full-on PvP, I think it should just stay there.
If I remember correctly, Core, you said you had decided you were not going to smoke anymore, right?
Yeah, sort of.
So go and destroy every cigarette you have and never, ever, ever change your mind. You've already made the decision. You're now committed to it. You cannot ever change your mind.
That's fine.
Going with this.
No, that's absolutely fine. I completely agree with you. But there was a date set for that as well. New Year's.
Really? Because I remember you talking about last week how you had decided you were going to quit smoking. Now you're putting conditions on it.
No, there was a condition back then. I just didn't tell you the condition then.
How convenient.
How convenient, indeed.
Taking notes on you.
No, I'm just. I don't know. It's one of those things where it'll work one way or the other, and I think you'll get used to the way it's going to be set up. I don't think everyone should be getting all panties in a wad right now until it actually comes out and you sort of see how it's going to work. I mean, if you know that you're going to be just doing space trucking or whatever, then you probably don't want to turn it on. But if you're getting in the game in a Hornet, you want to fight other players. I mean, that's kind of the
or something.
Or something, yeah.
You want to fight something, or you wouldn't have gotten a ship with guns all over it.
Exactly.
Things I feel is I wouldn't be interested in space trucking if there wasn't an outside threat. Like, to me, moving to one starbase to another isn't really going to keep me in the game unless there's always a threat of me being killed.
That's you. I mean, there are players that don't want that.
Yeah.
Just as much as you think that's the way it should be, other players are like, people who play the X games.
Right.
And I know the silent perfect right here, like somewhere to my left, is in agreement with me, but he's being silent, so he needs to talk.
He's got some knowledge bombs to drop.
All right, go ahead, perfect. Drop the knowledge bombs.
I think that, you have a system where...
Bump up your mic a little bit, perfect.
Should I move closer? Is this better?
That's better, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so if you have a system where... so the goal of the system is going to be that all players are going to have their, little niche, right, in the universe that, whatever kind of gameplay they want, they can have. So if you want the peaceful space trucking experience, you can have it, right? But it's not going to be through some arbitrary system like a slider or, a setting, right? Because the way, if you want a certain kind of game experience, then it's going to limit you to a certain area of space, right? That's because it's not just the simple notion of a slider. It's the combination of the slider and where you are in space. So if you can set your PvP slider to maximum in lawful space, right? And you can try and find people, right? It's going to be really hard, for one thing, to find people to fight. And even if you do find people to fight, the police are going to get involved, right? Especially if they're a citizen. So, if you want to be some sort of peaceful space trucker, then you can be a space trucker in regulated space, or lawful space. Or, if you want to be some kind of smuggler living on the edge with ridiculously high profit margins, but, you like kind of the dangerous aspect of it, then you can go out in unlawful space and be your super smuggler, space truckery kind of guy over there. If you want to get into fights, then you can work for the UEE if you want to do PvE, or if you want to sort of carve out your own place as a pirate or whatever. You can go either raid lawful space every now and then, or you can go out into unlawful space and just try and seek your fortunes there. And so there's options available for everyone, and that's the goal that they're going to go for. I mean, and with it, the individual mechanics like a slider, or how the instancing works, that's all balancing that they haven't even done yet.
Right.
No. So we can all agree on that.
Paradigm, real quick, said something interesting in chat. There needs to be greater return for having the PvP slider all the way up.
If we take like the Eve system, the Eve approach, then you would have, security levels on systems. But even in the highest security system, you could still decide to kill someone. It would just mean you instantly die because of, the security measures in place that are in that system. But it's still possible. So that begs the question, is there a need for a slider at all?
Where did this slider thing come from? Because I don't remember seeing it myself, and somebody in chat was asking about it too.
At a certain point, I believe it was someone from CIG commented on saying that there will be an option to turn PvP off, and this is where the slider debate came into focus.
Oh, I see. There really is no slider that they've shown that. Okay.
They've talked about they've talked about 4 different degrees of PvP-ness.
Okay.
Okay, so here is the link to the pirating info.
Penis.
Okay, I'm going to link in the chat the pirating info. There it is. And that has all the information on piracy and whatever that we have to date.
Boy, Spoon likes to type.
Or copy paste.
It is an information dump, though, so you're gonna have to read if you want that.
Good lord, this is beyond the scope of this show.
I am not narrating that.
Okay.
People are gonna have to read. Right?
Most of it is literally just copy pasted direct quotes from developers that has been categorized. I read all of it. I will admit, I was nerdy enough to read all of it several times, actually.
Okay. Well, good for you. All right. Next question. We spent a long time on that one.
The second question is pretty much the same as the first question. It has to do with the space whale pointy bit part. So what we will call the second question is, what's the update on Trend Aids PC?
Oh, there we go.
Simple.
Simple. It's still in pieces in somebody else's
Warehouse.
the warehouse. Yeah.
But we
but-
are up to
$1,265
$1,265.
with
So-
20 days left to go. 17 days left
If
to
we
go.
take out like maybe $100 for the fees,
And the
trending
taxes.
and the taxes.
So you're gonna get hit with the taxes.
Okay. Well, if we take all that out, he's probably got enough to buy himself a freelancer plus the computer. Freelancer package. That'd be nice, right?
Be wonderful.
It'd be beautiful.
Be lovely, fantastic.
So thank you everybody
Gorgeous.
who's been donating. If you are considering donating for Trendane, the link is below his beautiful mug.
There's still 17 days left to catch me up to the Robert Space Industries.
Okay, as it turns out, Fizzle just posted the original Merchantman front confirmation thread again, in which edit number 3, which is the latest edit, says, "As promised, I've spoken with Chris Olivia, who confirms that the elongated end on the right of the picture is intended as the front of the ship."
So it's not a space whale.
Right.
No, now again, it's a reverse space whale.
So okay, it's back to the Romulan ship from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yes.
As opposed to the Romulan ship from Goonies.
Yes, that was a really bad ship in Goonies. It was on the shelf. You didn't see much of it when they went to the attic. And for those who might be joining us right now, if you're listening to this on audio only, you're not seeing the flickering. But everybody else, the flickering is not on our end. It's Twitch. Twitch is flickering right now. So I apologize for the flickering, but there's nothing we can do about it. So just close your eyes and listen to the dulcet tones of our next question from Trendane.
Do you think the community will be out?
That was very nice.
Here we go. Do you think the community will be happy with the DFM? What is DFM?
Dogfighting.
Dogfighting module.
Dogfighting module. Good. Thank you for telling me that before I started making shit up. Dogfighting module is delayed as they're putting more work into it, or do you think people just want to take their ships out regardless of whether the mechanics are all ready?
The thing is, what people want is not what people are going to get. And what people want is to be able to fly their fucking ships in a finished game right the fuck now. But that's not what they're going to get. So, regardless of how that question's going to go, I'd rather wait for a finished DFM.
I can't say that I blame them. If somebody might be slightly new to this all with Star Citizen, because this is getting more and more traction in the public, and media just starting to really pay a lot of attention to this game over a lot of other new games that are coming out. So say like they just get into it in the last month or so. When I first got into it, where I decided to invest, was the day after the Hangar module came out. And so I literally bought the 300i or whatever, got on the ship, or downloaded the Hangar, got on the ship, and I'm flicking every button I had. I'm hitting like every single key on my keyboard, trying to open the damn door so I could go out and fly around for a little while. So it's kind of one of those things where everyone might be just like, I really want to play this game, but I don't want to donate any more money until I actually can play it or whatever.
There was
That is fine. That is not a bad... Good.
Stance to take.
Yeah.
Right.
What were you going to say,
there was another guy on YouTube who had only just it's a British guy, had only just recently discovered Star Citizen's existence, or the spin up of its existence, and it was right around, I think, Halloween or so. It was near the end of October, where he posted this video of, oh my god, how did this get below my radar? Oh my god, this is amazing. He's got like a freelancer, and in the back he's got a Connie,
right,
and he's running all over his hangar, just showing things off, like, oh my god, look at this, oh my god, look at this, oh my god. And I'm just like, calm down, dude. We know. Like, wait a minute.
I'd be so disappointed in 3 minutes.
I mean, when I was first watching Geekdomo, when I was first watching your video, I was like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Right.
I was like, go open the hangar, go open the hangar. Of course, I was watching a YouTube video, so you didn't listen to me, but still, it was.
I really wish I could have opened the Hangar. And I would be happy as hell if I opened the Hangar and it was Windows 95 screen. little stars just coming at me. I'd sit in my cockpit and I'd be like, I'm flying. Tip my chair to the right, tip my chair to the left.
So clearly, what we need to do is we need to what is are these overlays? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, overlays.
These things. Okay, so we need to make one for each cockpit style.
Yep.
And we use your nebula flight thing, Domo,
Okay.
and we just say, what kind of ship do you want? This, bang, and just give people that. So it'll just it's like 10 hours of just your nebula flying by with the framework of the thing, and they just
After I made that nebula one, yeah, exactly. Give me the fix. After I made the nebula one, people were asking me, "Hey, could you do the same exact thing with my Starfarer, or could you do the same exact thing for?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just find me a cockpit picture." All it was an overlay and over the top of the nebula. So I might just do that. I might do some more nebulas, just different colored ones, and I'll just put a cockpit, and you can sort of pretend like I did.
Daedalus, it might have been Mighty Jingles. I'm not sure. I honestly don't remember. I'd have to go back through my YouTube history.
Oh, Mighty Jingles is the guy who was talking, the British guy?
Maybe.
I'll have to check that out now.
Next question.
Next question, please, sir.
All right, next question. How will the loss of LTI on ship sales will fundraising be affected?
Well, as you can see right now, fundraising is at an all-time nothing. But that's okay, because they raised
At an all-time normal.
They've raised $7 million in 1 month, and I $7.8 million in 1 month, and I'd say that's
Crazy.
a pretty good fucking month.
Yeah, let's not rest on our laurels here.
So yeah, I think people are missing the point of how much was actually raised over November, and what was it, $5 billion in fucking October? I mean, come on, guys, how much more do you want to give these motherfuckers? So basically, I would say cool off, because that's what everyone's doing. Even everyone with money is cooling off. They're not buying anything right now. And it's not because of LTI specifically, because LTI doesn't actually impact the way that everything is going to work in the game anyway.
Unless
because
you plan on losing a ship every 5 minutes.
Exactly. And even if you are going to get an LTI insured ship, right, you're going to upgrade it. You're going to fucking fly it. You're going to fly cargo. You're going to need insurance for all that anyway. So you're buying extra insurance regardless of your LTI. So the way to look at it should be more along the lines of, when's the next big sale? And I don't think we're going to see a sale for, I don't know, maybe a good month or two, just because there's nothing to do right now and they have nothing new to show.
Yep.
All right.
Maybe they might do one just before the launch of the dogfighting module.
Yeah, dogfighting module might
Everybody buy your
actually...
Hornets.
That's actually a very good point. Once dogfighting module comes out and it doesn't suck, right? So all 3 points work, then you're going to see another large influx of monies coming in.
Yeah, because a lot of people are going to be sitting on the sidelines going, I'd like to play the dogfighting module of anything, and I need to get alpha, so at least there's $40 for SIG.
Exactly, and if 1 million people do $40, that's still 40 million people.
But
40 million
there
bucks.
has been this thing on the front page for like weeks or months now, actually, saying how many more alpha slots there are, and it never seems like it goes down. It's like there's still 30,000 alpha slots.
That's
do
a brilliant marketing ploy, actually, because as long as it seems like they are finite and they keep topping it up just a little bit with every sale, it will actually never run out, but it will still seem it'll make it appear like there's an urgency to them to that matter.
I actually started paying attention to that about 2 months ago or so, just to see whether it actually went down. And it was. It actually, I think, dropped to like 19,000.
Yes, I saw
something
it
like
go
that.
to 12, actually.
But then when we hit the enhanced alpha stretch goal, they added a bunch of new slots.
They added 90,000, yes.
Right. So what could happen is that, every once in a while they say, oh, well, we're just going to add more slots to the alpha, as a stretch goal or something like that,
But it's also a marketing play where you come in as long as people feel like they're under pressure to make a decision, they'll make a decision quicker, and that's kind of how a lot of those things work anyway.
Yep.
Somebody just linked the Pledge Watch in here. Can you explain what this is exactly?
What, the Google Doc?
Yeah.
Right, the Google Doc shows every single dollar made every day since the start of the Kickstarter. So the Kickstarter was $3.4 3.4 million.
Mm-hmm.
Then it kept on going on the RSI website till they hit, what was it, like 6.5 million, 6.7 million? 6.8 million is the last day of their original, the grace period, the original grace period. Then it kind of trickles along for about, 8 months, and it slowly builds up to like, I think it's 16-ish? Let me check where it diverges again. All right, yes, it slowly builds up until October, up to about 20 million. I'd say slowly, but that's still over the course of 10 months. That goes up quite a bit. About
if you look at this, it stayed around 8 million from, let's see, right around February of 2013 until May of 2013, or April, February, March, April. So 3 months, it was 8 million.
Yes,
and now they pulled off 7 million in 1 month.
Yeah, so until the 20 million mark, like it felt like it was going slow, but around October is when they made 5 million in 1 month. That was the October month, and then in November they made 7.75 million.
It's crazy because I thought I was going to get my 300i and I was going to wait until the game came out. And then I was like, no, I want a freelancer, so I'm going to sell my 300i, then I get that. Now I got a Starfare and an Aurora. And the other day I was literally my finger was on the trigger to buy that Stealth F7 or the Hornet.
Stealth Hornet?
Yes. I was sitting here going, I love that ship. I want it. And I had it all loaded and I was like, I'll buy it. No, I won't. No. And so I walked away. But, that's the kind of thing that's happening. Somebody at one point when I first started getting into this was saying that the average single person had well over $1,000 invested, and they made less than $20,000 a year for salary. That's just crazy to me.
Over 100 invested, wasn't it?
There's about
over $100.
Yeah, there's about 350,000 people pledged.
Right.
And it's as you can see, 33.7 million. 350,000. You can do the math.
You guys look at these forecasts? These forecasts are insane.
Yes, the forecasts are just continuing along the trend.
It's like by the end of the fundraising cycle, they'll have like $80 million.
Yes, that's what the forecasts are for. But of course, the forecasts are going to dip down until dogfighting. But they couldn't foresee that. Well, they could, but they didn't.
Still amazing. It's amazing stuff. All right. Well, let's. How do we get on that topic? Oh, it was. He posted.
Random divergence.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the questions. Go ahead.
How do you feel about Wingman's Hangar potentially being made a bit of the new Chris Roberts show rather than its own show?
I see that happening.
Yeah.
I think I love Wingman. I love his show. It's a great show. But I think people rather would want to see stuff from Chris Roberts himself. And so I think Wingman's Hangar might become sort of exactly that, just a 5-minute bit that's in the Chris Roberts main show.
Well, that's because Chris Roberts basically takes all the topics that they're discussing from Wingman's Hangar into his own show. So it's just him taking all. It's basically like us not having anything to talk about because they haven't released shit. Well, so when Chris Roberts is going to show shit, he's just going to pull in shit from left and right, going, "I want to talk about this now." And I want to talk about this. If you think
that we can all talk for hours without actually saying anything, listen to Chris Roberts sometimes. I listened to a audio podcast this weekend from Front Towards Gamer, which is like a military podcast, and he was on there from about 3 weeks ago, and they were talking about the $23 million stretch goal and how amazing that was or whatever, and I was like, 23, come on, we just made $10 million since then. So it's been a while since they recorded that. But even so, Chris Roberts, he would ask a single question, and Chris Roberts would talk for 20 minutes straight.
God, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. So if we can ever get him on this show, we'll just say, hello, welcome to StarCast. Here's Chris Roberts.
Here's Chris Roberts.
And we all just shut up and sit back and go, Stroke our
But
beards.
Chris Roberts has that whole visionary thing going on, and also the perfectionist thing, which is actually the most worrisome thing about him is the fact that he's a perfectionist.
Well, you need somebody like that at the helm, to be honest with you.
No, I
You need
agree.
somebody
But
like that at the helm.
Oh,
who
he
will
has
listen
he
to
has
people.
plenty of designers. I mean, that's why you surround yourself with good designers and people who know how to keep a schedule. You know, like Wingman. You know, people like that who just like they know it's like we gotta get this done by this date. You know, and this is how the schedule's gonna work and push.
no,
things out.
he's got plenty of people around him that'll push the envelope when it comes to that, and we'll tell Chris to sit down and go, Chris, no, your visions have to be put on hold. We have to actually do something and show something now, or all our fans are gonna hate us. So yeah, no, it's good. It's good that Chris has that now because he didn't have it before, which is interesting. If you look back at the original Wing Commanders, the funny thing is the largest delay on that was Chris fucking saying that the game wasn't finished. When you had publishers going, but we can play it. It works. The storyline's there. And Chris was just like, oh, no, it's not immersive enough. We need to redo the whole fucking thing. So then in the end, what usually happened was Chris was removed from the project and his brother was pulled in to finish it up. And that's what happened with a lot of his projects, actually. At least from what I remember.
Which is funny because now Aaron is in from the start.
Yes.
Right.
Working on Squadron 42, which is the single player aspect, and he has a lot of experience with that kind of stuff. So
It is.
Good
It
stuff.
is basically Wing Commander, the next iteration.
For sure, yeah. And I'm really happy that we've got Aaron on the job to actually give us a product that we can play with. Rather than it
So
always
what you're
being
saying is we'll play Squadron 42 3 or 4 years before Star Citizen comes out.
Easily.
well, no, because Aaron will probably push out Persistent Universe once he's done with Foundry 42. But
He'll break out the cattle prod and
there's a lot of good people. I mean, and Chris, it's kind of it's a good thing also that he's it's not just a bad thing that he's a perfectionist. I mean,
no,
obviously
it's not at all.
There's a
You
ton
need-
of like.
Yeah, it's like exactly. You need someone like that. Otherwise, there's no idea in the first place.
Right, and this shit's just going to come out as junk. It's just going to be absolute crap. And nobody's going to want
Right,
to play
so he's
George
the
Lucas.
visionary.
it. Exactly.
He's the visionary.
Jar Jar
Aaron
Binks.
is the realist, and then you have Cloud Imperium who is making the shit happen. So
Do
that's
you
good
think
stuff.
the rumor mill got turned up there a little bit when they started talking more and more about Chris Roberts' show, his live show, his podcast, whatever?
I think
I mean-
I was sleeping during that announcement too. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, they're going to be Chris Roberts is going to have his own show on Twitch, and it's going to be like alternate to Wingman's Hangar, and Wingman's Hangar is becoming shorter and shorter. It used to be an hour. And now
No, they
it's-
phoned it in
40
2 weeks ago when they had a pre-recorded show.
yeah, it's pre-recorded now too. Last week it was
Yeah,
pre-recorded.
yeah.
So for the last couple of weeks, it's been pre-recorded. It's short, and Chris Roberts is now coming out with his show. So people are kind of saying, did Wingman kind of get fired, or I mean,
Wingman-
all the bad stuff that's happened lately has come from Wingman's Hangar. I mean, when he showed the PlayStation and some of the other little missteps he's said have caused uproars on the forums.
Well, we have already discussed the dynamics between Wingman and Chris on last week's episode, where it kind of looked like Chris was getting angry and frustrated at everything that Wingman did, and he wasn't even doing necessarily bad things, but it was just like every time you could see Chris's face going,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
well,
yeah.
Dragar says Wingman's Hangar is returning to the old format. Confirmed.
Okay, good.
Okay.
That's confirmed.
All right. Next question, Mr. Tundane.
Figure out where I left off here. There it is. How stupid is the whole female spacesuits can be sexy? Okay, sexy thread. Yeah, on forums, and how do you feel about it?
It treads.
Well, hell, I want my... If, there was a female counterpart standing in front of me, it would have to sort of look like the same spacesuit that I'm wearing, otherwise I'm not convinced that it will provide any protection whatsoever.
You can't
But
have
hell,
a bare chest or midriff or anything like that. They do.
I can imagine.
But-
Imagine.
as soon as we get out of our fucking ships and she starts taking that thing off, there better be fucking skin. I'm sorry. There's no fucking way I don't want no skin in my goddamn game. But yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
There, right there. You've just confirmed she will also be bald. Very good. Congratulations.
Hardwood floor,
hot.
I think he was talking about. Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, the Explorer suit they showed for the female looked good. I mean, it was tight, of course, but I mean, the male suit was tight too. It kind of has to be. So, yeah. And they are doing the full body scans, so...
Which has labias and boobies.
It does. If you want to see that, check out my video. I talk about it's the NSFW video for
Podcast number 2.
podcast number 2, I think it was.
Is it going to be like the Batman and Robin movies where the spacesuits have nipples too?
Why not? Spacesuit
That was
nipples would be
awesome.
great.
That was so
so great.
fucking pointless. It was just
That
like,
was funny.
yes,
That whole
let's-
movie, I'm sorry, that whole movie is pure gold. I gotta say.
The one where Arnold Schwarzenegger was like Sub-Zero,
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze, whatever it was.
Sub-Zero.
I forget
Yeah.
what it was. It's been like 20 years.
And he was fighting Scorpion at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get over here.
Get over here!
Get to the chopper!
There was a
You have
Marvel
to
Com-
get out the bed.
right? There was a Mortal Kombat versus DC, right?
There
So I can
was,
see
yeah.
that. I can see that connection.
Is it cold in Germany perfect?
It is. Oh, it's fucking
Uh,
around 0 here.
I'm not in Germany. I'm in
Well, they
Chicago.
figure you
so-
are because it says perfect.
If putting this on means it proves it's cold in Germany, it must be really
It does.
fucking cold in Germany
does.
for me to feel it over here.
Cold winds a blowing. All right, next.
Okay. As for my answer about it, I wouldn't be dealing with women anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
there'll
care.
be guys
Yeah,
trimmed
but
in.
you'd,
There'll be
you'd want to be.
Yeah.
You'd want some male skin, wouldn't you?
Right.
Yeah, but that just sounds very Silence of the Lambs the way you phrase it like that.
That's the lotion on the skin,
Hey, come on, hey.
or it gets the hose.
Well, what?
I
Yeah,
want
no.
sexy treads though.
Treads?
Wait, what is
Treads.
treads?
It
Treads
says-
or threads?
It says treads.
I know it says
but
treads.
I don't know what it
but-
means.
I would like okay, I don't really care. To be
I
honest
think
with
it's
the female
threads,
suits.
as in forums threads.
Oh.
See,
Sorry, go ahead.
what I thought he meant was that on the bottoms of your shoes, you have
Yeah.
to have those naked lady silhouettes from the mud flaps on trucks and everything.
Right.
So everywhere you walk, you leave those. You know,
Oh, he
I
meant
would buy that.
threads. Threads is in clothing. Oh.
or high heeled space boots. One of the two.
High heel space boots.
Or forum threads. That's pretty good.
Yeah. One
I
of,
think he
one
meant
of the-
threads is in clothing.
One of those
Yeah.
six. Okay.
Yeah.
But
But I think there should be something in a social setting, but in a spacesuit, why the fuck? I mean, come on. It's not like they can have their boobs hanging out and still be EVA fucking,
Barbarella.
viable.
No, Trendane, you've seen Barbarella.
Well,
The other guys haven't. But
Yeah.
she was a space chick.
it's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix. You can watch it. It's Jane Fonda in her all of her glory. Actually, she's completely nude, full frontal, everything. But she's wearing a spacesuit that's like a plexiglass boob top thing, and it somehow works in space. I don't know.
Unevenly paced and thoroughly cheesy, Barbarella is nonetheless full of humor, entertaining visuals,
Oh,
and
it
Jane
is
Fonda's
hardcore
sex
cheesy.
appeal.
Hardcore cheese. So go watch Barbarella. And-
Not right now.
Not right now, and you need to drop at least one piece of acid when you watch Barbarella. It makes a lot more sense.
Not that we are endorsing the use of drugs.
Okay, don't drop acid, but pretend you're dropping acid or squint a lot. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Has LTI gone for good, or will limited edition ships still come with it? I think we kind of
Yeah,
addressed
we beat
this.
up LTI already.
yeah. It will be for ships that were confirmed but not sold before November 26th. They will be sold with LTI, is what was said. And you can always upgrade your current LTI variants from the Freelancer or from the Constellation to the variants that are going to come out using the upgrade packs. But other than that, it doesn't seem likely LTI will make a
It really isn't going to save that much money in the long run, guys. It's just not worth getting all worked up over. All right.
And it is probably gone. It is, in that sense, probably gone for good because they said that it was, if they had a chance to do it all over again, they would not have any LTI at all.
They would have removed that from their original Kickstarter. The only reason why they added it in the Kickstarter was for the Kickstarter release. But because there was a problem on the last day, they extended it for another month. And
then everybody else was like, I was here a month and a day late.
Yes, and then it was extended till May, and then it was extended till November 26th. But now they've actually made it gone, so let's hope it fucking stays gone this time. And for those of you, unaware, it has been stated many times that ships that currently have LTI will never be upgraded to whatever new variation of the ship or new model of the ship that comes out will be. So let's say there comes an Idris, an upgrade for an Idris that currently has LTI, or a new model, or like whatever. People that have basic insurance and lose their Idris will get the new model. But people that have LTI will continue to get back their original piece of crap model. So
unless they upgrade their insurance.
Unless they remove LTI insurance, because it is possible to remove LTI from your ship and switch to a basic insurance plan. So
yep.
Basically, what Core is saying is quit your bitching.
Yes, it shouldn't be this big of a deal.
Go ahead there, Trendane.
Here's another acronym I don't know. Are you enjoying TOG?
Oh. I believe that's probably somebody from the older gamers. If that's probably what they mean. I think so. Anyway, I've been with the older gamers since Guild Wars 2 came out. So, great guild. Love the guys over there. I'm right now trying to work on a deal, trying to get Imperium to consider doing an alliance with the older gamers. Because the older gamers are mostly in Australia and New Zealand, and Imperium is mostly US and UK. So if they could have an alliance going, you could have a full 24/7 kind of deal. So it's still in the early stages, and we'll talk offline about this.
We do have an Oceania fleet. No. It's just
tiny.
No, it's not tiny. It's not fucking tiny at all.
It's all of his ships.
They just don't fucking speak English. Well, a lot of them don't, which means they're Asians, but that's absolutely fine. But they have like one or two representatives that talk a lot, and then they have, I think it's close to 100, 150 members that just don't speak any other language than Mandarin or. And that's why they don't come a lot on Star Citizen base, but we do have a large presence there.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I was just saying it would be.
Agreed.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out if an alliance might work. So we'll see. We'll let us see what plays out.
I think we should probably make the older gamers like our vassal, and so they have to pay us tribute.
No, they're the older gamers. You go to them for your wisdom. When Core goes, should I invade this Vandal Queen? They go, no.
Yes.
But if they say no,
the right word. That's the right word, not romance. They're going to invade the Vandal Queen.
And if they say no, that only makes you want to do it more. It's like going against the wisdom of the council. That's the way I would see it.
All right.
Sort of the point, though.
Exactly. All right, Trendane, go for
it. Current situation with the dogfighting module. Will stuff for it be? When will stuff for it be released?
When it's done.
Yeah, when it's done. Which I'm thinking probably February, March. February, March to me.
If I was anyone, if I were any of you, I would just calm down, enjoy fucking Christmas, play on your Xboxes or your fucking PlayStation 4s, or play whatever else comes out, and just enjoy the calm that you have now. Because once you do hear about a release,
you'll all be growing beards.
You'll all sit behind your computers going, "Oh my God, are they releasing more information about dogfighting?" So calm down, relax, have a quiet end of the year, and then let it come.
Drop acid, watch Barbarella, and just go with it. Just go with it.
All right, just calm down and let it come. Just sounds like shh.
It'll be okay.
Let it happen.
Just let it. I can't get that image out of my head.
Oh. Okay. It's 4 minutes long if you want to take a pee break.
No, that wasn't a question.
All right.
That was not for the public.
All right.
Behind the scenes, you guys get to see all the stuff.
You get to see the pee breaks behind. Well, not really. You don't really get to see the. So what you guys don't know is that back here in Skype we have a big trough that we all just sort of. So, question: what do you guys guesstimate? Ooh, guesstimate, great word. The Anvil Carrack will be like from the tiny description. Well, size doesn't matter for one.
It's all about perspective.
The Carrack was the first chip to sell the fucking, what was it? Pacific. Is it Pacific?
I thought that was the Kon-Tiki.
No, it was the first fucking one to go from Portugal to fucking the New World, the U.S.
Okay.
Atlantic.
Atlantic. Yeah, it was the first ship to sail the Atlantic. Now, a lot of the crew died, a lot of the ships got destroyed, but it was the first expedition to make it across, which kind of makes it an iconic name in history, but they were phased out like fucking 5 years after this trip happened because they were too small, but they were fast. They were small, but they were fast. They had multi-decks, they could store a little bit, but they weren't good for trading. Basically, what it's going to come down to is, as it's called a Carrack, it'll be an iconic ship that did a great deal and has a lot of history to it.
That'll be fast, but many of your crew will die when you pilot it.
Pretty much, yes. Scurvy is aplenty.
It comes with free scurvy. You don't have to pay for it extra.
And high seas will probably take a good chunk out of it.
That's LSI, long-term scurvy insurance.
I was going to say, can we also get scabies if we...
And scabies.
It probably costs extra.
And the clap.
Oh.
But
yeah,
again, you get to kill a bunch of like native islanders, so that's that's worth it.
Fuck yeah, you get to trade beads with them for their entire homeland.
Their entire planet.
There you go.
Hey, also, $24 for New York. It's great.
If you pre-order, you get a free smallpox blanket.
I was going to say that.
You guys are on the same level.
Oh, God.
But yes, I see it as an iconic old ship. I also see it as an outdated ship in the whole lore situation.
I want one anyway.
So of course we all want one, right?
Yeah,
I want one.
Core has to have at least 3.
I need to have at least one because
color.
it's iconic and I can paint it and turn it into a penis. But other than that,
Does it look like a space penis?
no. But the
You already
original,
got the freelancer.
the original
Make it
ship.
happen, though.
All right, Trendane.
Will there be a special time next week since there's a special guest?
No, I asked Ben to come on the show exactly at the same time as we usually have it. Because right now in California it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's not so late for them.
Isn't he in Austin?
Is Ben in Austin? Yes, you're right. Ben is in Austin because that was the whole video crap. All right, so Austin's just
6.
an hour. Yeah, 6. So it's even so, it's still not too late for them to be getting on the show. And then maybe we'll get some special other guests. You guys have to behave and ask lots of nice questions.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
one that didn't get copied over into the log here for me to read, which was earlier, which was by, well, I can kind of agree with this one, was from Dragar, was the request. For Ben next week, please consider Trendane as a voice actor. As Dar said, don't do that when he's on the show.
I'm going to.
No, I mean seriously, for in voice acting circles, that would be kind of a bit of a faux pas.
I will ask, not even ask you to ask. And the other day when we were doing the other cast, somebody came up and said that they should. It was on the chat saying that they should hire some guy who was a voice actor because they didn't have any voice actors yet for Squadron 42. And I was like, well, what about Trendane? But I didn't say it. I just kind of kept my mouth shut. But, so other people are asking about it too, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying we're not going to be reserving questions like that for next week.
Oh, no, but I'm going to drop it on Ben anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't want to do it. I'm just saying you need to be careful how you phrase it.
Get your best Vandal Queen voice ready for next week.
While being invaded by Core.
Mm-hmm.
Before, during, and after.
The screaming is Core. That's what you don't realize.
Post-coitus
Hell
Core.
no. I will not be screaming. I'll be sucking. Something. I have not figured out if it's her boob or her chin.
No, let's not go there.
Trust me, I'm not.
You're going to redact.
Redact that whole thing Core's was talking about. Let's go to the next question there, Tony. What do you got?
Which is the last question.
Oh, is it that?
Last question.
Yeah. Can you speculate how many Idris P/Idris M's are currently in the hands of players?
Ooh. Do we have any hard numbers?
The hard numbers, if I have to do them from the top of my head, if I remember correctly, the original sale was for 50 Idris M's, then another sale for 50 Idris M's, then they sold 100 Idris P's, then they sold another 100 Idris M's, and then over the course of however long they sold the fucking $5,000 packages for, which contained an Idris, we don't know, but we're guessing around 400-ish, and then another 400 with last week's sale.
Right? So I'm thinking probably around 1,000, 1,100, something like that.
That's a lot of Corvettes.
Around 1,000 Idrises, of which around 800 are P's and only 200s are M's.
What's the difference between the M and the P for those of us in the audience who might not know what you're talking about?
All right, the M costs
and an O.
1,000. The M costs 1,000 and has a railgun mount, a spinal tap railgun mount, which is the military variant. And with that, of course, comes the fact that because it's a military variant, it doesn't look the same as the civilian variant. It has less cargo space. It's slower. It's sluggisher. It's really meant for being a glass cannon. You fire that railgun, and that's kind of all she wrote. Whereas the Idris P is more versatile. It doesn't have the spinal tap railgun mount, but it can fit one on there. So you can convert your Idris P into an Idris M. The Idris Ps were $1,250, which were more expensive, because they're the more multi-role variants of the Idris, and can be upgraded in a number of ways. Of course, which number of ways they haven't really said, besides being able to upgrade it to an Idris M.
That's a lot of badass ships out there.
Not really, no.
1,200? It's a lot.
Out of 350.
I don't know.
Scannison, just hit your up arrow in the chat, and eventually it'll scroll back to your question. You can resubmit it unless we found out what it was.
Oh, did we miss a question?
Apparently we did.
Let me go back and see.
Or just ask it again, because the chat eventually gets rid of any stuff.
Oh, that's right. We can't go up. Yeah, we can only go up so far. So
Which is why I say hit the up arrow, and it'll take you back to your question.
No, actually, it only goes back like 10 minutes.
No, I mean him. It'll keep everything he said in his buffer.
Gotcha. So, while we're waiting for that question to come up, what's everyone's plans for this? When does anybody know when this next thing's coming out for us to be able to shoot in our hangar?
No updates. Oh. It's been absolutely quiet on CIG front.
Yeah, they all took a little bit of a break. They did the live stream, then they did the sale.
Now it's Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, then New Year's. There's not going to be much happening over the next few weeks, I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, they might still come out with it, over the next 2 weeks, but, the fact that they're not talking, the fact that everyone's on vacation, We don't know. I mean, remember, this is a crowdfunded game, so they will probably take days like actual holidays the fuck off. There's no fucking deadline for them in that sense.
Yeah.
So they'll, when it's Thanksgiving, they'll fucking take the day off, and Black Friday and fucking Cyber Monday, shit like that. They won't be there.
All right, question here. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead and ask Hey 97's question.
Yeah, I was. Hey, 0987. And I love this question, and I love Warwolf's response. How do you think Star Citizen will run on low-end PCs? Now, before any of you answer, as the resident owner of a low-end PC, I will answer this question.
Yes.
Remember that Star Citizen is still at least, a year and a half out? Low-end PC, I mean, there are meh-end PCs right now that will be the low-end PCs of that time, so...
Like an
even
i3.
high-end PCs right now might have some extreme difficulty, a year and a half down the line.
Yeah, so 770s are targeted for medium. Just putting that out there. 770s. 770s are no joke right now.
Right.
They are being targeted for medium-level graphics. So just keep that in mind. A lot of shit changes in 2
Do
years.
not run out today and buy the best computer you can think that it's going to be the end-all thing. Buy a moderately good video card for right now, and then save your money for the big kick-ass video card when the game's about ready to release, because those big-ass cards are going to be the ones that you're going to need to run this game effectively.
Which is effectively what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. We're still waiting for NVIDIA's response to the R9 290s that AMD just came out with.
Right. And on that note, Mantle will change everything.
Mantle's
going to change everything. SteamOS is probably going to change a lot of stuff. If they put Star Citizen on Linux, the whole idea, all these notions that we have of, like power in graphics and things like that, and optimization, everything's going to get thrown out the window in the next couple of years. Everything it's a new order that's coming in. So just keep that in mind, guys.
And also remember, fucking Intel is rearing its head. They've been hinting at shit. We don't know if it's going to be 2014 or 2015, but they've got something up their sleeves, and hopefully it'll dethrone the i7s, because nothing's dethroned the i7s.
This is the benchmark I ran. I had a GTX 770, which he was just talking about, and I ran the unique engine heaven benchmark on that one, and then I also ran it today on my new R90 R290, and the difference is amazing. Like,
that is pretty incredible.
Look at the difference in the min FPS was a bit low, but the max 167 and the total score is, so the GTXs are.
Why aren't you overclocking your processor?
I didn't do anything with it. I just left it alone. Oh, my main processor?
Yeah, you have a 3770K, and you're having it set.
It's overclocked. It's actually running at 4.2 gigahertz. Whenever I run these benchmarks, it always says 3.5, and I don't know why.
It's so weird.
Yeah, because I have liquid cooling right now, and I'm running it at 4.2.
I was about to say, my 2008 is running at 4.8, and that's a 2008 i7 model, 965, which, I was looking at upgrading it, right? So this was me 2 months ago before, I was doing anything for Star Citizen. I was like, all right, let's see if I can upgrade to a new Intel i7. And I looked at it, and I was like, you are only marginally better than my current i7 965.
There's no reason to do it.
They have the thing called tick-tock with the processors, and the tick is the big jump, and then the tock is the one in between, and it's like, why? Yeah, if you have a 3770 right now, don't get the 4770, because it's just not.
Well, even then, I mean, even between, so the tick is supposed to be the actual, it's the actual process improvement, and then the tock is just the die shrink, so they go from 32 to 22 nanometers. So when they did that with Ivy Bridge, you didn't get much improvement on the power, right? But you got
less heat.
You had a heat problem now, but you didn't have that with before. And now with the 4770s, this is like you know, there's such a marginal improvement. You're spending so much money for not very much at all.
No, yeah, if you have a 30.
Yeah, no, I spent $1,000 or I spent $1,000 on this current processor that I have, and it's like the original i7 965, unlimited 4.8 overclocked to 4.8, which was slated to be impossible, but you know, made it anyway. And this thing just beats most of them out of the water. And if I were to upgrade to the current i7 Extreme, it would improve by about 15%, and it would cost me $1,000. It's just not worth it.
Right, I'm hanging out till right before Star Citizen comes out, the Persistent Universe, maybe the Wingman's or Squadron 42, and I'm probably going to end considering an AMD processor at that point. I'm trying to try to get Trendane's asleep.
No, I'm not. Football practice.
Out cold.
Who's gone? So Trendane, your new computer that you're building, what you going with?
List of some specs.
List of some specs.
Come on.
I like lamp.
Okay, so I guess he's probably going with AMD for a processor, right?
Very, very good idea, Trendane.
You can't beat AMD for price for performance at this point.
Yeah, you go with 8 core. Be very nice.
Basically, I'm going to go to some friends of mine with a wad of money and say, what do I need? And they're going to say, that, and that. And I will buy these things. I will bring them back to my house. I will put them all together, and I will start copying software over or reinstalling or whatever.
It'll be great. Take pictures, because everyone's asking to see how the build's going. And we're like, well, we don't have the build yet. So, lots of pretty pictures. All right, so did we get the question from Ask Anderson?
You can get it next week.
Okay, yeah, he said he'd save it for next week.
All right, everybody. Well, I guess that's good.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half. Not the longest show, but next week. Everybody remember, next week, Mr. Ben Lesnick should be here. So get your questions ready. Send them to geek@geekdomo.com. Just whatever question you like. Nothing personal, please. And we'll fire them over to Ben. You can pick out the top ones. All right, so real quick before we go, Pancakes, tell us about your channel, your brother's channel, whatever.
Hang on.
What, you have to look it up?
No.
Oh.
Well, what's his face just said something in chat. Okay, never mind.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, every time I mispronounce his name, he tells me how to pronounce it. I'm terrible with names. I can't even pronounce Geekdomo right.
Nice on. Yeah. Thank you all for watching tonight. Been coming. Be sure to tune in next week. Yeah, okay. That's it. That's all I got.
All right, Core. Tell us about your channel. Your Twitch.
I have a Twitch channel. It's Core of Existence, exactly as my name here below. And what I usually stream on there is just whatever fucking game I feel like playing. Unfortunately, right now, there's no fucking game worth playing, which has kind of limited my streaming capability. Like, I was slated to start streaming again last weekend, but it just so happened that I couldn't find a single thing that held my interest for longer than 15 minutes, and I was just like, yeah, I can't stream like this. So I'm waiting for the moment where I find something, regardless of what it is, to start streaming again. So once that happens, I'll be back up.
You played any Path of Exile?
Yeah, a long time ago. It bored me.
Yeah, next week we'll play X Rebirth instead of the real stream. That sounds good. Perfect. Go ahead.
I am playing
But
it must be thrilling if it's that memorable.
That was weird. He said, I'm playing, and then it was this big, huge pause.
Playing in hell.
Oh, and now we've lost him.
Okay.
That was awesome. Okay, well, Perfect Nerd is Perfect SC on YouTube, and he is at Perfect Nerd on Twitter, so follow him. And Trendane, tell us about your channel.
I am trying to...
I'm alive. I'm alive.
Oh!
We just plugged your stuff there, Perfect.
I had to fight a ninja.
That was weird.
I didn't opportune time.
So go ahead, finish answering your...
You said, I'm playing, and then you froze. And we thought you were just pretending like you were stuck. Like, okay, he's playing a little game here.
No. Okay, so, I'm playing Endless Space, again. So I played it in the alpha, and then I played like 60 hours so far, and now I'm playing Disharmony. I'm also playing a bunch of stuff that I got during the Steam sale.
Oh, that was crazy.
Which is cool, yeah. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm on Twitter. You can find me at Perfect Nerd. And I do have a YouTube channel, but it is dormant right now. And as I've said many times before, it will stay so for the next few months.
All right. Mr. Trendane?
I am... Just kidding. I'm
I thought I lost my internet connection.
Yes!
Oh, that's awesome.
Anyway, I'm Trendane, as it's written here, just about everywhere. And do more voice acting stuff. And tonight is TMI Tuesday on my vlog, so I will be telling some too much information stories.
Yay!
On my vlog. Not like you don't hear enough of that here.
Yeah, right. Awesome. All right, and then I'm Geekdomo everywhere. So that's it. And then this video will be available on all of our YouTube channels if we so choose to upload them. Unlike Pancakes might not, and maybe Perfect Nerd might not.
If I can download it.
Yeah, I will not age gate it until you get it.
Doesn't matter. You didn't age gate the last one, and I couldn't download it either.
It's so weird. He can't download from my page, but he can download it from Perfect Nerd or somebody else. It's really weird.
It's crazy.
Crazy for a feeling. All right, so that's it. And next week, Ben Lesnick on this show, live, in person, in living color. So
in Technicolor.
In Technicolor. I'm not holding out too much for him being smooth. I think it might actually be choppy and broken up because he's contacting us from the basement in Austin.
And we know what their net throughput is like.
About 10 kilowiggles. Kilohertz. All right. Well, I'll see you all next week. Thanks a lot for coming. This is Geekdomo, and everybody's saying good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Take it easy.